All right, welcome to the RAMS Agents Production Coaching Call. The goal of the call is to help you sell more homes by maximizing your repeating referral closings by implementing the Referral Agent Mastery System into your practice. My name is Mike Cerrone, co-founder of RAMS Agents, and my co-host is Angela Newman, a master trainer of RAMS Agents. Hello, Angela. How are you today?
Good morning. I am doing great and happy to be here. How are you guys?
Cool. Cool. Doing great. Doing great. Thank you. All right, let's go ahead and hop in. Let's get some good news. Right before we hit the record button, we were hearing some good news from Angela. She just had had a little success there with a posting on social media. Tell us a little more about that, Angela. What exactly happened?
So I am trying to make it a more of an intention to post on social media more often, but at the same time want to do posts that are more, I guess, engaging. And I recently went to a conference and they shared stop posting. I just sold this house, just a picture of the house and sold and the address and whatever, They say people want to learn more about you, the experience. And so last night, I had a really long day. My day started early and then I pulled into my driveway at like 8:43. So I had that thought. I was like, okay, I'm going to take a picture because I'm still in a really good mood. And I'm going to go in and while I'm eating dinner, I will create this Facebook post of how my day went because it was pretty much nonstop. And so I posted it. And yeah, even last night, I started getting quite a bit of interaction with it. I haven't even had a chance to look at it this morning, but there you go.
Blake, you had brought this up. You had mentioned you had seen the post. What captured your attention with the post? Why had you what grabbed you? What made you bring it up? So Blake, you're muted.
It's interesting because I was just thinking, Angela, when you were talking about what the guy at the presentation said, I have heard it said again and again that people want to see faces. And that's exactly what Angela's post is, just a picture of her smiling. There's no house. There's no just sold. There's none of that. It's just her smiling. And and then you see the way posts go, there's a little bit of the post. You get to read just a little. And I could see it was kind of a timeline that she was laying out of how her day went. So I thought, well, I'll look at the timeline. And it was very impressive. And she kind of detailed how her day went, in blocks of 30 minutes, an hour, whatever it was. But what caught my eye was it's just a picture of her smiling, uh, and then there was some information there that looked like it was something you should read.
So the teaser post, right? So you were seeing
Yeah,
the first couple hours of the day, and you could tell it was a schedule, and it piqued your interest, your curiosity to see what else was on there.
agreed, agreed. And we could all do that. Yeah.
Cool. And Angela, you said you're already getting some interaction from people.
I am, yeah. So actually, last night, right after I posted it, several people commented on it. And with social media, engagement, is kind of your goal, is you want to interact with people. And so I posted things recently that were more like flyers, like an invitation to this event. I'm doing a home buyer workshop and things like that. And that's not going to get as much engagement, I guess, as when you just kind of show yourself out there a little bit.
Cool. Cool. Well, that sounds neat. I can't wait to hear what how that happens in the future. If you're, are you going to do more of these kind of posts?
Yeah, I am. So I want to be a little more strategic with my posts. And I try to post usually at least a couple times a week anyway, but definitely taking that word of advice from somebody that's obviously very successful with running marketing for a top real estate agent, that just stop doing those generic cookie cutter type posts and just, especially with Facebook, every platform is going to be a little bit different. You post something different on LinkedIn than you would Facebook, but Facebook and even Instagram be more relatable.
We're going to try to do videos, little day in the life snips, like, hey, I'm about to walk in this house to show a property, or hey, check out this crazy feature of this property, or what other ways do you see that you could use that and maybe incorporate some video?
Yeah, so a group of agents, well, two other agents and a lender and a credit repair person, we're doing a home buyer event. And so we made a really fun creative reel that I'm going to be sharing. And yeah, so just more video is great. If you can make it a reel, it's going to get a lot more exposure than just a post. And definitely want to do that. Today I'm door knocking, Tristan, so for the event. So let's see if I can do a video while I'm out there doing that.
This is Angela. I'm about to knock on the door of a homeowner.
Wish me luck.
Good luck.
That's fantastic. But sounds to me like what you're doing is you're doing storytelling. You're telling a story of your life. You're giving a little snapshot and the story and a view into the story of your life for these people. People love stories.
I think that's it. That's exactly it. And there's some agents that I'm friends with that do that. And to me, I'll read their story because I know it's going to be interesting. It's not always going to be about real estate. So
Cool. Well, I again can't wait to hear how that goes. And if you get a course in the end, since we're in business, the question is, does it generate more business? To get more interaction, more results, more closings ultimately. And so it'd be interesting to track that in some way and to see if you feel that that's occurring.
yes, and that's another thing is I want to incorporate more in my life, but also a reminder that I'm in real estate because I want those referrals. I want people to remember that and think of me when they think about real estate.
It's a good point. And there's an old saying, it's better to show someone than to tell someone. And so we can tell them we're in real estate. And it sounds to me like what you're doing is you're showing them that you're in real estate, right? You had the picture of you had your schedule, you're showing them your schedule. And then this idea of video, because just people love video, everybody's so visual. If you can incorporate that, showing them you in the activity of selling real estate will probably burn it into their skull even more than just telling them.
Exactly. Yeah. Because
Cool.
I think there's just those pictures of homes, people just scroll by them now for the most part, just like, oh, okay, there's another house sold, especially if you're friends with a lot of agents. But
Yeah, if you're going to do a picture of a house in your social media feed, you want to be standing in front of the house, right? You want to have you somehow in the house, or maybe peeking out the window, or I always go to humor, but something that connects you to the property visually.
Or jumping in the pool.
Yeah, and jumping in a pool. That's right. Blake did that a while back, didn't you, Blake?
I did. I did. I was going to tell you guys about something. This is interesting, Angela. This is a goal for all of us if we're working on social media. Facebook sent me, and I've never received this before, a message last week that said, "We're showing your content to more people. Thanks to your quality content, we're helping you reach a wider audience." And at the top it said your reach increased. So somehow Facebook decided through their system that it was a photograph, a couple of photographs there were wedding photos, but a photograph of me walking my daughter down the aisle. And there was a lot of interaction, of course, to that. So Facebook decided that was a good post and they were going to boost my post. I didn't know that. I thought that was pretty surprising.
Were they going to boost it to the people already connected to you or boost it to people beyond that?
Well, let's see, because you do have some insights. 3,217 views, and 63% are followers. I guess that's people I know, and 37% were non-followers. So
Hmm,
it's
nice.
that's interesting.
So going
That was
beyond
a big
just the
post. That
group.
was a very engaging post for me. Of
Right,
course, you don't get those every day.
right, yeah. But the fact that they showed it to people that,
Are
yeah,
not,
they
yeah,
How
that's a
many
good
friends do
point.
you have? How many connections do you have, Blake, on
Oh,
Facebook?
I think maybe 1,400,
Okay. Yeah,
something
that's what
like
I was
that.
estimating you because you said 60% of your 3 grand. I was thinking 1,800. I'm like, does Blake have 1,800 connections? That's amazing. Or friends or
Yeah, I don't actually know the number, but I'll look here. I'm sure it 1.4. So yeah, 1,400.
1.4 million? That's
Yeah.
fantastic. Wow.
No,
We gotta name
1.4
something after
thousand,
you.
1.4K,
That's cool.
which is
That's
not
great.
unusual at all in our industry. That's that's probably pretty typical actually in our business.
Very good, Blake. Thank you, both of you, for sharing a little bit about that and this idea of changing up the social media for the posts, do some connections. Anybody else have some good news they'd like to share while we're on good news? All right.
I did some showings on over the weekend. I had a lot cooking over the weekend, but did some showings of some lake houses. Neither one of them was appropriate for the buyer in the end, but they were still, it was very engaging. It helped me understand more of what my buyer is looking for. It was really the first time since I had shown them some houses in the past for another agent, and now I'm showing them as their agent and not somebody else's. So it was good for me to be able to really dig in more into what was working and what wasn't going to work for them. Interesting aside on that. So that was good news because it was very useful for me. But an interesting twist was I've never come across this, but the next door neighbor at one of the lake houses was intentionally sabotaging the showing. And the listing agent explained it to me and my client. It was incredible what the neighbor was doing and had run off a number of previous potential buyers. So I thought
Stop.
that was,
Stop.
yeah,
Did that not just get everybody curious as to what the heck the neighbor was doing? So that could be a great start to a post.
that's great. That's
The
right.
neighbor was sabotaging our showings.
That's
You're
right.
like,
That's
what?
exactly
That you
right.
just opened up a big curiosity loop. What are you talking about? What happened?
Neighbor. I got to write that down and do a post about that. That's right. I wish I'd gotten some video, but that wouldn't be good either.
So everybody listening is still wondering what happened, right,
So
Angela?
it's a lake house. I'm sorry. It's a lake house that has a great lead, though. You're right. It's a lake house with a dock, and the next door neighbor has a dock as well that's very close to the dock of the property the subject property. I mean, they're just a couple of boats could fit between the two of them. And the neighbor was set up on their dock playing loud, very loud, lewd music. And they were sitting out there, and we go walking out on the dock, and their dog starts barking, and they wave to us and say, don't worry, he doesn't bite, and they had obviously been drinking and they were going to continue drinking because they kept yelling stuff. And they went and got on a golf cart and rode up to their house, which is actually across the street. Theirs is. And then they came back with a big bottle of vodka and yelling vodka all the way down to the dock. And it was crazy. It was a strange situation. And the listing agent explained some other things that this guy had done at previous. In fact, he was on the phone with police trying to figure out if he could do anything about it. And
What else had this person done? I mean, it's a great story.
the other things he had done, they had had a uh, well, for the most incredible, and I'll just say it because it's true. He was peeing off the dock when somebody came. So, and then what else was he doing? Apparently, they were just being loud and obnoxious with everybody that came through and
These are
and
great
and
stories.
yelling at the people that were there, not necessarily yelling things that were ugly, but just interfering with, just yelling stuff. And you just don't want that. You don't need the neighbor yelling at you when you're visiting a property for the first time.
This is fantastic. What an incredibly awesome story.
It really is.
You're relaying a story that someone else told you. These stories,
Yeah.
they just travel, right? They just travel
Yeah.
along.
I witnessed part of it, but I heard more of it from the agent. That's right.
Oh, now this story is going to go out to a lot more people. It's going to keep traveling. You wouldn't believe
That's
what
true.
happened on this showing. Because it creates more questions, right? Like
What do you
questions I
do?
have now are, does this guy do this all the time and this is the way he is? Or is this unique that he's trying to sabotage the showings for a particular reason? And if he is trying to sabotage it, why? Why is this
Yeah.
guy trying
Yeah.
to sabotage somebody buying the property? Does he want to buy the property? What's going on? There's some other connection. Does he hate the seller so bad he'll do anything to sabotage him? Something's going on there, right?
Yeah, that I got the impression that from what the listing agent told me, that somehow he and the property owner had a run-in because the property owner has children, and apparently this behavior was always going on, and he just asked him to tone it down at some point. And that's when the guy decided instead of toning it down, he was going to crank it up and be hard on this property owner. The
Sounds
property
like
owner lives out of town, so they can't really be there all the time.
it sounds like a great skit, like a Saturday Night Live skit or something. That's hilarious.
That's exactly what my son said when I came home and told him about it. He said, "This is like something in a movie or something, and that you would never literally encounter in life."
Some setup for a comedy piece on YouTube or something. That's hilarious. Well, thank you for sharing, Blake. That's pretty funny stuff. And well, good luck with your showings as well with your buyer. What a great little piece for you to communicate with them and everybody else. So I guess that's the other thing we're looking for, right? Little stories, tidbits that are unique and unusual, really will stand out. Those are the kind of things that could go viral. For instance, I know it's after the thought, and but if you had whipped out your camera and took a picture of this guy being an absolute berserko, and
Right.
then use that in part of the social media, even if you blurred out his face, to explain, yeah, this is what happened to me today on my job. You think your job's crazy? Check this out. Got this guy peeing in the bay and playing his music and grabbing vodka. So,
Dogs barking, everything. I mean, it was chaos.
oh yeah. In fact, that might be what well, yeah, that's might be, because now our brain starts spinning, but that might be what the owner of this property is trying to sell might do, is put up some video cameras, take videos of this guy, and then post them out on the internet to try to embarrass him.
It's true.
At least proof for the police or something,
True.
disturbing the peace, or I don't know, something
Yeah,
interesting.
so the listing agent was on the property he had told me he would get there early to unlock the property, which is true. He did unlock it, but he was standing on the dock the entire time. And he told us afterwards, as he was apologizing for the whole situation, he said, part of the reason why I'm here is to try and monitor this situation and try to protect the showing.
Yeah, those real estate agents, we don't do anything.
Yeah, I'm just
This
thinking
poor
that's,
listing agent has got to be there all the time now.
yeah, he's got to be there and he's trying to interfere with that guy over there. And
He's got to be the
wow.
hall monitor in the loony bin. Oh man, crazy. Well, thanks for bringing that story to us, Blake. That's pretty good stuff. That's pretty funny. I see we've got Yevon with us, and I remember from our last call, Yevon, you were going to share some story. I don't know if you can hear me and you're able to talk, but you were telling us you were going to share a story this time about something that happened one of your trips, and you learned something about your business, and you were doing it all wrong, and you opened up that loop. And now I'm kind of curious. Do you want to share with us what was going on there?
Good morning
Hey,
to
Yevon.
everyone. How are you doing?
Good. Good to see you.
Nice, yeah, me as well. So the last time when I fly to the Miami, I meet couple agents. It's like four agents. They kind of like young. And they start business like 2, 3 years ago, and they doing just video so much, so many, and they kind of like sell close to like 15 to 20 millions a year, which is kind of like, it's crazy to me because like they don't do any advertising. They just kind of recording someone doing like funny videos, someone doing like more educational, and it's crazy, like when you meet agent, she's just like 2 years in a row. She's young, she's asking questions about like, oh, what is foreclosure, what is short sale. They don't even know like some, like some sounds like basic parts, how things moving, but they have access to the kind of like buyers who just, like maybe in the same way like they looks, successful on video. Because they driving like expensive cars. They kind of like talk about they showing like new construction with like nice design, and it's attractive to the buyers, and they reach out to them and they just talk about like pretty much the unit. They don't discuss, my opinion, like, yeah, so much technical things. And buyers in maybe like in this part of Florida, not I'm gonna talk about maybe like it's a big state, but like Miami and around, like people just kind of very simple sounds like, because they buying for like 1 million, 2 million with the like brand new agents, because like they are kind of, making like nice video, doing like nice tour, and it's for me kind of like, being kind of not understandable. So
So it sounds like they're doing walkthrough videos where they're they're walking through a listing and they're attracting buyers to purchase those properties. Is that correct?
yes, it is.
Okay. And so you're saying they're selling $1 million homes. They're doing about 15 to 20 million a year. So they're getting basically 15 to 20 closings a year by doing these walkthrough videos. How often did you get into the details? Like how often are they doing the videos? How long are the videos? Where are they posting the videos? Are they
Yeah,
talking to local people? Are they pulling people in that are relocating? How deep did you get into their business?
usually like it's relocation sounds like, and they doing like between 3 to 4 videos for a week. So they just showing like properties. They talk to the kind of past clients. They show like management companies. They talk to the lenders. Show how they are working. I mean, different kind of like agents doing like things differently, but in general, it sounds like, yeah, it's again, it's not so simple. I understood like four videos a week. It's a lot, and they spending some money on advertise these videos because they pay for ads, and they have like their assistants who making the video, like video guy who follow them. And yeah, it's kind of like different style compared to kind of like how I'm doing the business. That's why for me it was kind of.
Well, if I recall, your early days, you made a video that went viral and got you a lot of early business. Is that correct?
Yes.
And was that a walkthrough video?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. And we've been talking about that today about doing a day in the life of a real estate agent, day in the life of a realtor. Um, and as I'm listening to you, if we really think about this, these are things that all realtors do. We all research new listings, new construction, communities. But we typically do that kind of in the background, right? Right? We make phone calls and we drive over there, take a look, and we're not documenting it. These folks sound like they're doing the same thing. They're just documenting it with video, right? So they're documenting it in pictures rather than written or just absorbing the information as a human being. So they're documenting it in pictures and then sharing that story out to the public of, hey, here's what's going on out here. Because they're doing more than just a walkthrough of a property, it sounds like, yes?
Yes. Yeah, they do kind of like different content. And I'm start looking for a person who maybe can help me to figure out like the nice content and the structure, and maybe start doing the same because as Dan explained me, it's much easier for them just work with high kind of like people who has a lot of money. They very simple. They kind of like easy to connect. And when we start, look my deals compared to their deals, like their deals looks 3, 4, 5 times higher. And again, they can work on like other parts of the Florida, and whereas the house is cheaper, and they can, pretty much like catch the same market like I do, like 350, 450K houses, to sell. But they said, no, we don't want to do that because like people who, come into the kind of big city like this one, they have the money, they want to spend, kind of they invest in. It's fun word for me, like how they invest, because like it's no kind of cash flow at all, of course, and appreciation right now kind of also like slow down in Florida. So when they tell investments, I don't know. I mean, for me, it's kind of like not a good investment right now, but still, if they are selling, people probably see the value there. And yeah, and they said like, yeah, just change the market, change the kind of like clients, like you selling like 54 houses last year. They sold like 15, and they said like, we cannot imagine how you kind of close each week. Not close, but at least put on a contract each week the client. It's crazy. They said, why are you doing that? Just like find the like nice buyers who looking for like 850 or like up to 1 million home. Just sell 15 and you will be the same like sales volume. And that's what I'm just trying to figure out. Like maybe I need to change the strategy, for next week, and I'm start like go deeply for video content and looking for people who want to buy like big houses or nice condo. Yeah.
Good, Yevon. My quick advice for you is don't change, just add. Don't change, just add. So you already got a really great system going. Add another part of your business, which may be going after this higher end price point. So, you said they're in Miami and they're in a higher price point. They got a lot of people. Where are you at?
Illinois.
Yeah, aren't you in
Close to
Chicago?
Chicago. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
a pretty big market. There's a lot of variance there, right?
yeah.
So you could do the exact same thing. You could go after high-end prices in your area. Um, so the other interesting thing here is niching or targeting, right? So they down there, it sounds like they decided to go after the higher end. You also told me a lot about them as people. So you're obviously seeing that in their videos. You said they drive really nice cars. Well, how would you know that if you were doing a walkthrough of a property? They're somehow showing that a bigger picture of the life of these agents. They kind of do it like a TV show, right? Like a little mini TV show for their local area. where
Right.
they're showing their bigger than life personalities and cars and whatever they're doing to attract people into their world. But they're doing it with a purpose. They're doing the purpose being, hey, come buy a house with me.
Yeah, it's like a Sell Sunset or like $1 Million Listing or Agent, you know, this kind of TV shows. They kind of show the environment and people like it and people want to buy and be part of this environment. So that's what I'm thinking I'm doing bad because I'm not show what I sell in a like different angle. Maybe people need to kind of like see another picture.
Yeah, and so it sounds like they've started a YouTube channel that focuses just on that, and you could do the same, right? You could create a second or a unique YouTube channel that's your luxury channel, or you're focused on the high-end channel, and just that's what you show. Everything on that channel is showing these high-end luxury homes, and also might want to tie it into an area or a type of property, right? Like I know, I'm trying to remember the name. There's an agent in your market in Chicago who does nothing but high-rise, very expensive condos, right?
It's Matt
Downtown.
Larissy. Yeah. I know
Yes,
this
there
guy.
you go. Yes, that's correct. And we've interviewed him on the station, on the channel, and that's what he does. He does the high end. He has a very unique focus, right? He's not just showing video. It's a video of this. If you want this, this is what I do, right? And so it's niched. He's not showing you properties all over Chicago. Chicago's huge, right? He could, but that's not what he's doing. He's very focused. Boy, I'm
It's a good
sorry.
example. Very good example. Yeah, I know him. I follow this guy. Yeah, because he's like top agent, still top agent in Chicago, in city. Yeah, he and his team selling the kind of like crazy amount of kind of like properties there. And he's living in downtown, and he knows very well like all buildings. And yeah, it's a good example. Yeah, maybe I need to follow more and do this exactly the same steps what he's doing.
What niche would you pick? Like, what niche would you pick? Would you do high-rise condos? Would you do big mansions out by the seashore? Or what would you do out by the lake?
I still thinking like maybe new construction because I'm living in the suburbs. Yeah, like I'm living like 45 almost 50 minutes away from like downtown Chicago, and I pretty much focus on like north side. It's kind of like nice and safe area, with a lot of good schools, and I think I'll go with like maybe like bigger and nicer houses because it's more close geographically to where I'm living, where I'm selling.
I think that's what you got to look at is how can you narrow in on a niche that makes sense. There's enough property there, enough of that type of property there to make a business out of it. I like the idea that you're thinking about making it near you, close by, because Chicago is so huge. You got to figure out how to connect that into somebody can quickly identify that area. You said the north side. So like north side mansions or something that's going to be high end for the name of your channel. You're going to want to tie it into the channel name and then the properties that you show. What other thoughts do you have on that? You want to narrow this down.
I mean, first, I need to find like the niche, like you said, the last meeting. Yeah, I need to find like what my main focus. And we don't have so much new construction on north side where I'm living, so that's why I mean probably like I will kind of skip the part with new construction, and probably like I need to go and focus more on big nice houses.
Like when you say big nice houses, what do you mean? What price range? Are we talking about $1 million to $2 million? Are you talking 20 million to 50 million? What are you talking about?
I think at least like between 500,000 up to 1 million.
Okay.
To kind of like add this type of people to my network. Yeah.
What is your average price in your area?
I mean, mine or like the area.
What's the average in the market? What's the average market?
The
price,
market, I think
price?
it's like close to like 375.
Okay, so 375. So you're talking about double to triple the median price.
Yeah, and mine is 275. So it's
Sure. So
100,000
you're a little
difference.
bit underneath the average,
Yeah.
but you found a niche, and you're doing really well with that niche. Um, in fact, you could do this video concept with that niche and just do more volume and bringing people to help with the volume. So uh, there are a lot of people that are working with video well. I was looking through the list. I was trying to find a name. I haven't found it yet, but Mike Ferrante, he's up there in Cleveland, Ohio. He does a lot of video walkthroughs. I just found Matt Laracy, you were just talking about. These are all people in success calls, by the way. Oh, I just found what I was looking for. Casey Margano. He's out in Vienna, Virginia, and he does walkthroughs, videos, and has been doing it for a long time, of high-end, really high-end giant mansions as they're constructing them, building them out. He works with builders. And so they do walkthroughs of these really big, elaborate, giant homes. So that's definitely a way to niche. You got to start thinking about what do you actually want to do and show and be the best at. For instance, with Casey, he went out there and, you know, before he could do that, he had to learn all the different construction materials and types and blueprints, and so he could talk. So it's him walking through the video, telling you everything, walking through the property on video, telling you about the property and all the different amenities.
Okay, that's good. So
I think it's a really interesting idea. How dedicated are you to it? Yeah, these people, they have a videographer that's videoing them, probably. They have somebody who's doing the editing. They have someone who's posting. You said they're paying for ads to boost it. You know, it's a commitment. Yeah.
Yes. But I need to start at least like with someone who will push me to make the video, you know, at least like once a week. Because like I started doing this like, yeah, a couple months ago. I'm doing for like maybe a month, maybe a month and a half, and I quit because I start travel. And after traveling, you know, you come back, it's a lot of kind of like, you know, closings, buyers, you know, like some moving around. You don't have time to kind of make the video. Now it's kind of like my data become like of clients less, and looks like I need to start making the video. But yeah, I need to do it like, you know, in non-stop mode. Yeah, because it's bad, you know, like to start, you know, advertise, you know, myself when it's no clients or less clients. Yeah, I need to do it like on consistent base. Yeah.
I have yeah, I think you're all correct there, Yevon. I have an idea for you. The idea of putting out one video a week is good. You are a very busy guy right now. You're doing a lot of volume and production. You know, you're closing 50 units a year. You're running, and it's all buyers. You're running a lot of buyers around. What you were just saying is you're very engaged. So at first it sounds like, well, you can't do this because you're too engaged. You don't have the time. And what I want to open up for you to think about is you do have resources. You don't have the time, you have the money. Okay. See, most people, they don't have the money, they got the time, and so they could go and create all this themselves. Well, what you could do is you could leverage with your money to get those resources. So for instance, you could hire a person part-time or full-time to help you create this. You know, and this person, it will help you with the videoing. Maybe they're the videographer. Maybe they're the person that's going to do the editing. They're going to keep this train on schedule, and then you just have to show up to the photo shoot, or you walk through the house and you're the star of the show. You know, and you walk in there and you do your thing for an hour or two a week, and then they take that video and they chop it up and they get it out into the market.
Right. Yep. Good point. Yeah, that's what I'm start thinking about. Yeah, and yeah, thank you for putting like the structure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that might help you out. Instead of looking at the what, look at the who. Who can help you get this done?
Right. Yeah.
You could probably find, you know, you're in a huge market. Chicago is massive. You could probably find a college kid who would love to do this, some kind of video school person, you know, someone who's doing this for their, I'm just trying to spitball. They're in college and they're learning how to put video together. They would love to do a project like this, right? and you can pay them, and you learn and they learn, and you're learning together, and you're kind of putting it together. It's a part-time job. For them, they're making a couple bucks. For you, it's getting your system up and running and testing and experimenting on the side while you continue to run your main business.
Right.
And
Yeah,
it's possible
yeah.
it could grow up and eclipse your current business, or just be a beautiful side piece, right?
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, so you
Uh,
need that vision, right? You need to create I can see you're creating the vision. You just need to keep defining it, play around with the options of what this is actually going to be. Who's it going to go out to? How's it going to get operated? How is this going to become a division of your business? That might be the other way to think about it. It's its own little separate division.
Right. And also I'm thinking about like multi-families, because I still continue, work with a lot of investors. And yeah, maybe I need to kind of like create more videos to see them like the value, because my kind of like strategy like all this time was like that. Like if people call me, I just try to get like how much money they have and what's their vision for next like 5 years. And if it's like the vision, they want to kind of become investors, they want to kind of like get their personal property, plus they want to buy investments. So we kind of like divided their money for like big goal, like I'm not push them like to buy big and nice house. We just kind of like go and buy like small house and buy couple like condos or like couple townhomes, and see like how things go, because like some people like to be a landlord, some people don't. And in the future they want to, like they don't want to be landlord, they want to sell these properties. Again, I become like listing agent. It's kind of like was the idea how to kind of work with the clients and explain them, kind of teach them at the beginning, spend a little bit of time, show them different models, and explain how things works. And we just kind of, do like math, like what's best way to go, like with FHA loan, with conventional loan, with DSR loan, like, like different type of products. Yeah, depends like how much money they want to spend first, how much money they need to kind of like get cash flow to start paying like their house off or something like that. And at this point, like maybe, maybe I don't have to be like super kind of like helpful or creative in this case, like just sell, okay guys, let's go and buy a big house and you will be happy. And at this point, I don't have to sell like 50, like properties. It will be just like maybe one big home for like 550. But at this point, like I feel it's no value from like being an agent and share this kind of like experience or knowledge what I have. And but it will be like not 3 transactions. It's gonna be just only like one, and big one. And maybe I need to just kind of like slow down on this kind of like model. It's kind of another point of view what I'm thinking.
Good. Again, I'm going to go back to my little primary advice. Do it as a test on the side. Don't sabotage your current business while you're creating this experiment, because if the experiment doesn't work, you're kind of toast. All right. You don't have to go burn the boats right now. So you got this great little business you're running right now. Keep running it. That's the cash flow. And you're going to take that and try work this next opportunity to see if there's something there. That's the other reason to maybe bring somebody else in to kind of run it. They're kind of spearheading this division to see if there's something there before you do the big shift.
Okay. Yeah, great advice. Yeah, thanks.
You bet, because it might take 6 months or a year to ferret out what that is even going to look like.
Exactly.
And typically when I'm hearing about these video people, it takes them a while to get business coming. Nice thing about the video though is the business will start coming to you, kind of like the referrals, and they're kind of predisposed to use you because they've been trained that you're a great guy, right? They believe they know you already through the video. Angela, go ahead.
So when you mentioned, that thought of, okay, maybe you would venture into kind of the same clientele, like investors, what that would look like. So it started making me think that some investors, if they have bought 3 or 4 smaller units or houses or duplexes or things, maybe the next progression, if they want to continue, would be like a small apartment building or a 4-unit building, a 12 unit building or more. So maybe you could play around with or think about, I don't know in your community if there's a lot of buildings like that, but just kind of step up to a little bit bigger multifamily. And then you're selling the 4 units at a time or the 8 units at a time.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
Did you, Evan, did you
idea.
say you want to sell more multi-unit or you don't? I was a little confused.
I want
You
sell
do want
more.
to sell. When you say multi-unit, are you talking like duplexes, triplexes, and fourplexes, so smaller? Because you were talking about FHA loans. Or are you talking about like big 300-unit apartment buildings? What are you talking about?
No. Small units, yeah, small multifamily up to 4 units.
Okay. Okay. And so then that's where Angela was going in. She was saying, then you'd create a channel around the small investor. Were you talking about where the investor is living in the one unit and renting out the others?
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so you need to create a term for that. I'm not sure if there is a term already out there. Maybe Blake knows because he was in some of this space. But there's probably a term like, I was thinking millionaire next door or something, but that's not quite right. There's something with somebody who's living in the unit and they're renting it out. Everybody thinks they're just a tenant, but it turns out, they own
House
the whole
hacking.
building.
House
Right?
hacking, yeah.
Yeah,
Secret
house hacking. That's
millionaire or
the more
secret
common term
investor
now.
or something. Go
Yeah.
ahead, Blake.
Yeah, just house hacking. That's the new term. Yeah, it's as old as is housing. I mean, as long
House
as we've had
hacking.
houses, people have rented out space in their houses. But about 10 years ago, they started calling it house hacking.
House
That's
hacker of
yeah.
North Chicago. Right? That could be the name of your channel. So you got to start thinking what are people searching for that are interested in that space? And then that's what will drive them to your channel. And then they see, oh, this is what you do. You're doing the thing that I want to do. Oh my gosh, I got to call Yevon. He knows how to do the house hacking in North Chicago, which is where I live. And boom, now you're the only one they want to talk to.
Cool. Yeah, cool idea. Let me write it down. I got a couple of thoughts on that. Okay.
And you can do that for any niche, but you got to come up with the niche and what you want to do first. And then you got to figure out how do those people think and how can I draw them in? What's going to attract them to me? And then you use the search algorithms of YouTube and Google to help you do that. And then you're going to present that information in video. Sounds good. Anybody else have any other thoughts for Yevon on this topic or this idea? It actually ties into what we've been talking about the whole time, doesn't it?
Okay.
All right, cool.
Just wrote it down.
Well, hopefully that was helpful, Yevon, for you and for the rest of us in some way. This idea of using video to share on social media what we're doing with our clients. Again, the whole idea is to attract people to us, share with them what we're doing, either in a small group of people we know, like social media, or a larger group of people we don't know. We're trying to attract people we don't know through, say, YouTube. And again, the key of all marketing is identify exactly what you're trying to do, who your prospect is, how they talk and think, and then that's what you want to present, right? So they just go, Yevon talks my language. Yevon talks just like I talk. Yevon thinks just like I think. I gotta call Yevon.
Nice. Okay.
All right, cool. Well, thank you for this. We're running out of time today. Thanks for the production call. Hopefully we answered some questions. And let's do this. Let's break and go to the huddle. So number one thing you did yesterday to move your business forward, number one thing you're going to do today to move your business forward. Who would like to start?
I'll start. Number one thing yesterday was door knocking. Today, getting back out there and knocking more doors.
Woohoo! Way to go, Tristan. Yeah, and Tristan's starting to see more and more business percolating in through the door knocking, I notice, and those reports he sends out each day. Thank you, Tristan. Keep doing those reports. Keep us updated. By the way, Tristan, do you like doing those reports? Does it help keep you accountable?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's just such a simple thing, right? You just send it out the group email to everybody saying, yeah, this is what I'm doing. I'm staying plugged in. All right, good. Who's next?
I was going to say I appreciate the reports, even though I rarely, very rarely participate. I appreciate them because they encourage me. So, Tristan, you're very faithful with getting your report out, and I appreciate that very much because it encourages me.
Thanks, Brady. Appreciate the feedback. And I also wanted to say to Angela, like you were saying about your post when you were showing how long your day was and that you were working, and then some people were kind of saying like, get some sleep or don't work too hard and stuff. I wanted to say don't be embarrassed of working hard. I was inspired by Yevon the other day when he was saying like the problem with the people that weren't selling a lot of real estate, they weren't putting in the hours. And like it's rare for people to put in more than 40 hours and to do the hard work. So don't let people bring you down and try to put you down, and be proud of the hard work you're putting in because it's all gonna pay off.
Appreciate that because you do have that little like moment of, oh, well, yeah, kind of like, I don't want to seem like I am just a workaholic or anything, but yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Good job.
thank you, Tristan.
Oh, good job there, Tristan. Hey, yeah, but a quick thought while they were just mentioning that, I thought one other idea for you. If you do want to transition from what you're currently doing, which is your core business, you said you're working slightly on the lower end of the market, you want to move into this higher end of the market. So I mentioned one idea is get somebody to assist you to build up this higher end of the market, right? Okay, the videographer, et cetera. The other thing is if you do make that transition, don't kill your old business. Just bring somebody else in to run it. Okay, just bring another agent in to run the old business because it's an income generator. Okay, start thinking in departments. Okay, think like a business person, right? Your departments, you got all kinds of different levers going on at the same time, and you're the organizer, you're the structure. And then you would do the same thing with the luxury, build it up and then have somebody else step in, et cetera. But anyway, I just want to throw that out that you have a lot of different ways to do this because you're worried about you not having enough time. That's okay. Use your resources and then start leveraging yourself up the channel and bring in people to help. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like a book, E-Myth. Yeah, you know
Yes,
this E-Myth?
exactly
Yeah.
right. Yeah, the
That's
E-Myth
what.
Revisited, old book, great book.
Yeah. You know these books, okay.
They just keep rewriting that book in different formats. Yeah, they give it a
Yeah,
different title.
it's one for real estate agents even. Yeah, you know that.
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah, we were
Yeah.
reading it a long time ago. Just conceptually, anybody can use that idea. All right, sorry I took us off track. Who else would like to share for the huddle? Number one thing you did yesterday, number one thing you're going to do today.
I can go next, yeah, to be quick, yeah. Or Angela, you want? Okay, sure, thanks. Yeah, I start like, yeah, talk to like my past client. He called me like last like couple days about like refinance, and looks like he not the right fit for refinance. And we start talking about like maybe he want to sell this property, and he said, why not? So I'm run today like, yeah, CMA, like, yeah, we'll push him like to maybe sell this property, yeah, because he want to come back to his country, and yeah, things like that. And yeah, and I still looking for like people, and will continue to look like add more, like support and to my kind of like, yeah, team, and make it work with the videos, yeah, like you just talk. Yeah, and I need to find like the niche first which I want to kind of jump in.
Yeah, you have to have the vision, right? You have to have the vision. You have to be the driver. That it comes first, the vision first, and then everything will start falling into place. Only other little quick thought: don't hire somebody right away just because you like them. Make sure you actually go through a really good qualifying process to get the right person into the position. You got to have that vision first to know what they're going to do, and so you can get the right person in there. It's probably not going to be a person like you. It's going to be someone different. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
who else would like to tell us? Number one thing you did yesterday. Number one thing you're going to do today.
Last night I did a showing and it was with the for sale by owner. So I was representing the buyer. And this could take a little bit of time because this guy's still kind of on the fence. But I was just really happy that I met this buyer at an open house a year ago at one of my listings and that they still continue to want to work with me. That's always nice. And then today I'm going door knocking. So yeah, to pass out flyers for the event coming up.
That's fantastic. Angela, why did the person stay in touch with you for a year? What did you do to stay in touch with them? Why do they still want to deal with you?
I think it really comes down to connection and trust. And I've taken a lot of time they were first time home buyers and taken time. I did a buyer presentation with them, explained how everything works, connected them with the lender. When they said they wanted to put everything on hold, I respected that. Stopped sending them properties, but still stayed in touch, just, checking in on them.
Cool. Cool. Good job. And good luck with that. And good luck with the door knocking today to get the word out. I hope you make some connections.
Thank you.
All right, Blake, I think you're up.
Yesterday, I have a vacancy at one of my rentals. So yesterday I spent a good bit of time getting it squared away to re-rent. So that was my number one activity yesterday. Today, though, I'm back in the agent mode, and I actually have some marketing reports to get out for my listings. But then also, I was just thinking about what Angela was saying, and I need to follow up with some folks that I've met at open houses that I've done over the past few months and just follow up. So I appreciate that because that's helped me think about my activity for today.
Cool. Anytime we can set up a system to do things for us while we're without our active participation, it's advantageous. So that's why you create a quote drip system of some kind on your leads to stay in touch with them. You should have something in place that's doing that already. So it could be a newsletter, like a weekly, monthly newsletter, whatever, either by email or physical mail. It could be a video. You have them on social media and you're sending it out to them, a video once a week, somehow staying in front of them and touching them. You need some way to be following up with all these leads so they don't fall through the cracks. And then we're trying to pull them back in at the last minute. Anyway, so be thinking about that, Blake. Bigger picture, bigger system of how can I make sure that I keep all these people with me, and I can do it not just for one person, but for 100 people.
Yeah.
Right? And leverage. Just I do one thing, and it's connecting to an unlimited number of people with that one thing. Okay. Good. So let's see. I'll make it quick. Let's see. Yesterday, I went out and I did a walkthrough with a seller and that I'm working on this special project. And for sure, selling this property, this was a tenant occupied property. Tenant just moved out, and her plans just to sell it, just as is, just wants to get rid of it. And it turns out she has in talking to her for a few minutes, turns out she has 12 of these properties and she's just trying to get rid of them as soon as the tenant moves out. She just wants to sell them over time. So that would be a really huge opportunity. It's just that I don't like the area or the property type. So I'm not going to do it. But these opportunities are out there. So you would have never known it in my first conversation. She didn't bring any of this up. And it turns out by getting out there and meeting her, like I think I was talking to Tristan yesterday, why are you going out and meeting? Are you going to try to list it and everything? Sometimes you're just trying to figure out what the situation is. So I just wanted to go out there, meet her, make a connection. I think if I wanted to, I could have probably done that. I could have done a long chain with her through these properties as she's trying to get rid of them. This property was 140 years old. It's falling apart. The foundation's falling apart. The floors are all off. I don't want to work in that area. I've done that before and I'm just not interested in it. But if you were interested in that, it'd be an amazing opportunity to start cranking through, a dozen deals over probably the next year or two as she's getting rid of these properties. anyway, so that was an opportunity I evaluated and looked at. Today, I'm supposed to get some offers. I was supposed to get them yesterday. This market is very interesting. And I've been trying to stimulate offers on my property. I'm in a slowing market. So I have to reach out. Instead of buyers attacking your listing, I have to reach out. I have to do the opposite. I have to go out there and talk to agents and try to get them to bring me an offer. And so I've actually been doing that. And I think I had some good conversations yesterday, and we should be getting some offers today. So I'll be working on that if that happens. That's the end of our call today. Thank you so much for being here and participating. I hope you have a fantastic and productive rest of your day.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone. Have a great day.